Yo, what's up YouTube? Short update. There has been a leak. You can put on a mod in the game and access the new characters early. The catch is you can't see their abilities, and this has been in the game for a while. You've probably seen certain content creators put out videos where they show animations. I've done a video myself, but what I just figured out and what I think nobody else realized is the default builds for every character are already in the files and you can access them right now. Valve is actually pretty good at making default builds. They've been very solid for the characters so far. So this is more so Valve's prediction on how a character is going to be played. And we know this for some of the new characters, but we didn't know all of them. We'll go over the most obvious one first. This is Rem. And as you can see, the default Rem build is very much super support focused. An early Guardian Ward, early Healing Nova, Disarming Hex, Rescue Beam. Just Valve basically thinks this character is going to be a full support. It makes sense. One of the leaked abilities is literally jumping on someone's back, healing them, right? So Rem is most likely going to be a full support character, and that's the way Valve at least intends the character to be played. Now, the other character we know this of is Venator. Venator has been in the game for a long time, or the Secretessa in a long time, and we knew this was going to be considered a full gun carry, and the default Venator build looks like a full gun carry build, right? Like every single item here is orange. That being said, that doesn't mean, like, later down the line people will not try to play him as Spirit, but Valve thinks this character is going to be a full gun carry, and all these items are just, this is a one-on-one gun build. Like, it's very close to, like, the Viscous and Warden builds we have now. Now, where it gets interesting is the other characters we haven't seen before. First one, Apollo. We thought was going to be a melee ranged brawler that does a lot of melees, but it seems like that is not the case. The only item that is actually increasing melee damage or close range damage is close quarters, which means we know the character will play close range. Makes sense, he has a sword, but the rest of his items that Valve wants us to buy look very different. We have Mystic Regeneration, Mystic Burst, and a lot of Spirit debuff, right? Mystic Slow, Mystic Vulnerability, and then a lot of Survivability, which means he's still going to be a frontline brawler, but it seems like he's going to be doing most of his damage with his Spirit abilities, especially considering that Valve wants to buy us Infuser and escalating exposure in the late game. This build very much reminds me of Victor, and it really means that this character is probably going to be very powerful with early or close range Spirit abilities and not necessarily going to do a lot of melee damage like a lot of people thought. Next up, Celeste. And this is also an interesting one. They called her a Disruptor in the description, and it seems like she will be a Disruptor. This is a hybrid build, the only hybrid build actually of the new characters. High velocity means that her base gun will have very slow projectiles, but it seems like Valve really thinks that the gun will still be useful, and it's going to be a hybrid type of damage character, because we're running Mystic Shot, we're running Arcane Surge and Kinetic Dash, so Valve wants us to play this character as a hybrid, but also, interestingly, wants us to buy pretty early Torment Pulse, which means I predict this character is going to be an in and out kind of disruptor, very akin to something like a Paradox or a Pocket. Go in, deal your gun damage and your spirit damage, go out, and this character 100% I can predict. I don't know what the abilities are, but I can 100% predict from these, from this build that this character will have abilities that will let you get in and out very fast and easily and safe. Graves. And this is really a Spirit Nuker build. In fact, not a lot of greens here, other than Radiant Regeneration, which I consider a green item. It heals her. But we know she's going to have a charged ability. We have some of the abilities of Graves League. She can make gravestones that spawn zombies. But this is really a full Spirit Nuker type of character that seems like will play a lot of mid-range or longer range and be really annoying. Because again, there's not a lot of greens here. That means she probably will not be close in the fight. She will probably sit in the back and deny the area, right? Like kind of similar to like a Geist, but without the massive close range damage as well. And last but not least, and this one is the most exciting, and that's why I'm recording this video real quick, and because I need views, help me please. Silver looks like Valve wants her to be a gun character. Not only that, my prediction is she's gonna have the slowest firing gun in the game, because they're running Express Shot on her. We know from the game files that Silver is not going to have a right click. And if you look at the gun animation, she has a very long reload animation between every shot. Which means she probably will shoot slower than anyone else. Which means Express Shot will be used for the primary fire. but the primary will do a lot of damage. It's a hunting rifle. A lot of you would be like, yeah, that makes sense. But like, it looks like she's a gun carry. And then later down the line, she will be closer range and go in melee. Once you spec into the ultimate, which I assume it's a werewolf, you're big, so you go in. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how this character plays, because for one, she has a hunting rifle, which assumes like long range, and then you also want to play close range. But yeah, that's everything. If you didn't know, super excited. Vote silver, gun characters. Gun carries unite, we need to beat Rem, fuck Rem.